This is the Extreme XB 310Li electric bike. Wanted to do just a quick walk around on this, and we'll try to do another video on it later where we take it for a demonstration ride and maybe show you a bit more about it. But I haven't seen any videos on YouTube featuring the Extreme, that's with an XB310Li model, and that's this model. So I thought we'd just do a quick walk around on it. I find it's one of the most feature-rich, affordable electric bikes out there. I've been into electric bikes since, I don't know, 2009, so a pretty long time. Not as long as some people for sure, but the technology has changed a lot since that time, and this bike reflects that. And I do think it's the most affordable, feature-rich e-bike out there. I'm one of those people that had a ton of mopeds in the 1970s when I was young, and this is really fun and harkens back to that. But of course, it's a lot better because it's electric, and this one is really like a bicycle. So I've really been enjoying it. It has a lot of great features, and I'm going to walk up toward the bike now. We're going to kind of get into some of those features up close, if we might. First off, let's mention that it does have a 24 volt, 8.5 hour amp battery pack. It's the super lightweight lithium ion battery. One thing I like is the controller is located beneath the battery, so you get a lot of protection and shelter from the storm, so to speak. With the controller being located there. You can see the key goes in right here, and it has an on-off position as well as unlocking the battery position. The battery pulls off right in the back there, and real easy to do. You also have I know I got some glare going here. You have a battery gauge here as far as if it's full or empty, and it has 3 lights. The bike comes standard with a rear rack with nice panniers, which is nice. Also has decent pedals. It's kind of the small things that make a bike sometimes. And it has Wellgo pedals that are pretty grippy and metal, as you can see. Have a nice reflection on them and nice reflectors. Also comes standard with a kickstand. The tires are 26.195 inch, and they are knobby Kendra tires, knobby Kendra tires, and it has dual wall rims, which are power circle rims. I've seen these on other e-bikes, and yeah, pretty standard stuff, but really works out pretty nicely. One thing I really like about the Extreme XB310Li, as you can see, is that it's a full suspension bike. It has a nice shock right there, right beneath the center of the frame, so you've got rear suspension, and you have full lockout on the front fork suspension, and it has pretty good capacity, and you lock it out here on the right side, and it works really well. I kind of leave it open a bit. The handlebars are clean, so you've got a nice head set up there that doesn't have a lot of gunk on it. I added the bell. Came with a headlight that was a little cheaper than this one. I added a standard bell headlight, and it's got all the normal modes, low, high, and blinking. Works out real well because it's removable. Also, it comes with a Shimano 7-speed gear shifter here, which is push button, which is nice if you're wearing gloves in the cold weather. And the derailleur located in the back on the right side here is the Shimano derailleur in the back. And it's, again, 7 speeds. Works out really, really nicely. We get about 20 miles to 24 miles out of a full charge. It takes about 6 hours to charge, and of course it comes with a battery charger. The battery itself charges right on the front. There's a little removable area right here that you can plug right in and charge. Also, of course, the battery comes off, as I mentioned, real easily, which is nice. The seat that the bike came with was pretty basic, so I picked up a cushy cover that I put on the top there, and it's worked out really well, very comfortable. And the bike does fold in half. It has a clasp on the right. You don't notice it. In fact, I forgot it was there, but it's like, oh yeah, the bike folds in half, which I haven't had to do or needed to utilize yet. But a real nice feature. And the bike also comes, let's see if this will come in on the picture, with some really beefy welds. There's another bike that's similar out there, and I haven't ridden it. It's the Cayman R, but this just looks a lot better to me. that, and again, nothing, I know people are satisfied with their Cayman electric bikes, and kudos to them for that for sure. But as far as I think it's the Cayman R that's similar to this one. It has a cheaper looking frame. This is a very solid, durable frame with heavy duty aluminum. And again, you can see those very heavy welds there. Also, the fact that this bike has a much better battery placement than that bike. The battery being on the back right here, and the controller here. I believe on the Cayman you've got kind of a funky setup with the battery or the controller behind the seat, and then one of them on the handlebars. That's not the case with this bike. So this looks nice. It just looks clean to me. You're not so rear heavy because it does have a 300 watt brushless rear hub motor. You can see that in the back there, very stealth-like. I think the Cayman bike is 250 watts. This has decent pickup. It is only 300 watts, but seems to get the job done. This is more, I find, a power assist bike, a bike that you want to interact with more than just a turn the throttle bike. It's not a scooter. This is an actual bicycle, and you can see the tires are really nice. It's got a nice hybrid tire. The front shocks are RST. You got the Wellgo pedals. You've got full suspension. You've got a more sturdy frame than on a lot of e-bikes. I tend to beat my bikes up pretty well because I'm kind of the philosophy it's for having fun with, and you don't want to park it and not use it. And when you use it, use it like you want to. So it's a very durable frame and bike, much more so than any bikes I've seen for a comparable price. And let's see if we've hit a lot of the basics. Again, the controller being located right beneath the battery there is really nice. I like that. I like the fact that the battery is not hanging over the back or associated with the rack. The rack is real good. It's got that kind of mousetrap feature to it. And again, the full pannier, so you can put saddlebags on here if you'd like. I also added the tail light in the back, a little bell tail light with all the basic features. So I wanted to be safe. I also added some reflectors. You can see the little peace sign reflectors there, and the dual wall rims and the knobby Kendra tires come with the reflective strips around each of them. So that's nice. Has a quick release on the front, as you can see, so easy to take that front tire off if you need to, and I've had no problem getting this bike worked on at regular bike shops. You don't have internal wiring or an internal battery, which you're going to pay a lot of money for, but again, it's nicely wound up there, as you can see, with the plastic, black plastic clasp and ties, and the bike is black itself. A little dusty about that, sorry. And so it looks nice. It looks clean to me. One thing that's kind of important that you don't see on a lot of affordable e-bikes, maybe even some more expensive ones too, is you've got nice protection here for the wires with that guard, and you have another one on the other side for the derailleur. Oops. And so there you have it. You got a little protective there. I've dumped this bike in the ice and mountain biking, I don't know, probably couple dozen times, and it still rides beautifully. It doesn't make any noises at all. We have mechanical disc brakes on both the front and the rear. I believe they're 180 millimeter on the front and 160 on the rear. They work beautifully. And one thing that's important is you have the motor cutoff on the brakes as well. So you've got a separate wire on both the front and the rear brakes for cutting the motor when you press the brake lever. So that's a pretty nice standard feature. Those are nice shocks too. Front shocks vary in quality, and these RST shocks that are on this are really, really good. And that center or rear shock, whatever you want to call it, also, it's not the cheapest. So it really is unbelievably feature rich for the price of this bike. I really wanted to do this video because I know a lot of people simply can't afford an electric bike, and you see these reviews online where people talk about a $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 bike being entry level or affordable, and that's just not realistic for many people. So this is, I would say, by far the most valued bike for the money and feature-rich, affordable electric bike on the market right now. Again, don't let it fool you because it does kind of look like the Cayman, But you know, no offense to the Cayman folding bike owners, but way, way, way better. I would challenge anybody to compare the two. Again, you've got the 300-watt rear motor. The battery, you know, if you could upgrade the battery to a more powerful battery, you'd have more kick, but then you'd probably be using it less as a bicycle and more as a scooter. I can tell you that I live in Colorado where there's a lot of aggressive macho Lance Armstrong wannabes, and I don't have any problem passing them or keeping up with them. And this is not the most powerful bike on the market, so you're going to get a good workout, I guess is what I'm saying. The seat is fully adjustable, and I think we've covered a lot of the basics of this bike. Again, I'll do another video in the future, but to recap: 300-watt brushless rear hub motor. 8.5 amp hour 24-volt lithium ion battery. It's one of the best batteries on the market. Full suspension, and not with cheap suspension either. Good RST shocks in the front and nice rear shocks. Great reflection. You've got reflectors in the front and back tire that come standard. You can see those golden yellow ones. And again, the rims, the dual wall rims and the knobby Kendra tires have reflective strips around each of them. You've got just a really nice bike. The grips on the handlebars are not ergonomic, but they don't move or slip at all. I tend to kind of have a gorilla hand and arm when I grip things and use them. They haven't budged. And I probably put about 2,000 miles on this bike, and it's just running beautifully. I like the mechanical disc brakes. It, again, gets a range of 24 miles. And that's in pedal assist mode. Also, you can turn off the pedal assist if you don't want to use it. There's just a red button on the front handlebar for activating it on and off. I tend to just leave it on. There we go, because I use it in pedal assist mode pretty much only, but you can use it in throttle mode as well while you're doing the pedal assist, and it does have the half throttle there. So, really nice basic Shimano gear shifting abilities. Just a really good bike all the way around. I believe this is retailing right now. This, again, is the Extreme XB310 Li for $799. I've seen many bikes in the $1,100 to $1,500 range that don't touch this in features. They don't compare. This is my third electric bike since 2009. This is my least expensive one and my favorite one, but that's because I really shopped around for it. So again, don't confuse this with an inexpensive bike that looks like it. This is a really, really nice electric bike for the money, and it's the Extreme XB310 Li. Thank you for listening, and again, we'll do another update on this bike outdoors and show you how it rides. I've really been enjoying it. In fact, I'm planning a trip to the Grand Canyon with it, and I'm going to take it along the rim and on the new Greenway Trail, etc. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'll try to do a video from there, and I think you'll appreciate the views of the canyon with the bike. So thanks. Have a great day.